pietà, porgimi qualche pietà, Sevelli, porgimi qualche pietà, Sevelli, Sevelli, porgimi qualche pietà.
Lovely, that's very good. It's a lovely, lovely sound, a very clean, easy tenor sound. Very nice indeed. Lots of things to admire about it. Getting into the words gives you ideas about phrasing and colour, which, although people tend to sing early music in a slightly uncolourful way often, they don't play with the colours of the voice very much. They tend to think a simpler, purer version is what's required. I don't think that's right, for my taste anyway. That I think these guys who it is Bassani, 1657, 1716. I mean, these guys are only a couple of hundred years away from Verdi. I mean, Monteverdi and Verdi only separated by a few hundred years. I don't think the Italians changed that much in 300 years. That they were rather pure and simple in early times, and suddenly became all passionate when you get to Verdi. I think go for the words and really sell them, and use the poetry as a hint to get some passion into it, and that will help your voice to grow in its palette of colours that you can play with, I think. Right. See me give a couple of phrases. These two questions need to be a bit more questioning. Dormi tu? Dormi tu? Before you go and say, you start dreaming of being nice to me. You, whoever you are.
Yeah. Dormi bella, dormi, dormi tu, se dormi, sognati de semen cruda, se vedi, porgimi qualche pietà, porgimi qualche pietà, se vedi, porgimi qualche pietà, se vedi, porgimi qualche pietà.
I think the only thing that needs saying about this, because it is all a lovely sound, and when we get the words a bit more passionate, we'll be there, is just to sustain it a bit more. If you're going to paint us a picture on stage, you've actually got to paint the picture slightly bigger. La 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 la, dormi tu, dormi tu. So you could just, how do you do that physically, do you think?
Well,
what am I doing, apart from just being about 30 years older than you?
Well, sustaining the sound, I guess.
How? How do you do that? Do you think technically, or do you not think technically? When you're singing, do you think of technical things?
More expression than technique, I guess.
That's a perfectly good thing to do. If you've got to choose between expression and technique, then choose expression. Yeah. Technique, will sometimes follows expression. If you just think technique and no expression, it's pointless. We'll just all go home and watch the soap operas. Okay? You really do need to think of committed to saying something. Yeah. And then the technique will grow because you'll feel the need to say something. But it is worth just looking at what that technique is. If you want to sing expansively and paint on a big canvas, it's to do with the way you use your body to make a sound. Yeah. Where does your voice live?
Down here.
Down there?
Yeah, well,
God,
it lives up here, but you have to use this to make it.
Right. And can you tell me how you do that?
Well, by breathing right and keeping the connection with the ground down here.
Right. Could you show me? Ah. That seems to be good. That's very good. The other connection you need to make partly between here and down here, but also between here and up there. Because if you try to do all the things down there, but don't open the space, you won't do it. You've actually got to connect down and up. Think up. Thank you. Now that's a different sort of sound immediately, because it was being connected through to where the resonance is, rather than simply from here. Before it was a ah. It's a very nice sound, but it's not going to project you into a big hall. So you have your own concert hall inside your head, and you've got to open it up.
Yeah.
It's fantastic space. Put your fingers there. It's a huge space. And you have to remember to get your tongue out of the way. So if you're not careful, the tongue will fall back into the space. The old singing books used to refer to the mouth as the vestibule of the voice. It's the hallway into the concert hall. And the concert hall is at the back. And this is just the hallway in. And it's rather rather pompous, use the word vestibule now very often. It's that feeling of and if not careful, the tongue blocks the way. So the tongue needs to fall forward slightly. And you open that space. And immediately we get all sorts of power starts to be unleashed when you do that. And it's probably one of the most important things you could say to young singers, to find that. Takes all the hard work out of singing, it's easy. Try it. Again. Match that with here. Open yourself up a bit. And it's that easy, isn't it? Just give us an F sharp. And we'll have it this way. Excuse my fingers. Open yourself. Very good. Control the start of that sound. So you open yourself up a little bit. Don't raise your shoulders or get anything tense around here. And again, breathe in. Good. You're standing up. Imagine you're going to pick something off the floor. You go, you're going to pick something off the floor, but you're not going to bend down to it. You're going to go, That's it. Just make sure this doesn't come forward of that centre line. Otherwise you go, and it all goes forward that way. You're thinking that way. Think. That's lovely sound. Now sing this first phrase. Dormi bella, bella, double L.
Dormi bella, dormi.
Wonderful.
Dormi tu, dormi tu.
Are you trying not to wake her up, or are you trying to wake her up? Dormi tu? What's it mean?
Are you sleeping?
Are you sleeping?
Yeah.
Are you asleep?
Well, then, of course, you're trying to wake her up, I guess.
I think you're sort of prodding her with a stick.
Yeah.
Are you asleep? Dormi tu, dormi tu. Don't be too tender about it. She's being nasty to you.
Okay.
Okay. Dormi bella, dormi, dormi tu. You could well be asleep. Okay? Start thinking nice things about me, please. Right, okay.
Okay.
Dormi bella, dormi, dormi tu, dormi tu. Se dormi, solitude selven croda. Se vedi, portimi qualche pietà, portimi qualche pietà. Se vedi, portimi qualche pietà. Se vedi, portimi qualche pietà.
Thinking? New idea.
Sospiri profondi tramando dal cor e tu non rispondi. E tu non rispondi. E tu non rispondi ai barbaro amor, ai barbaro amor. E tu non rispondi ai barbaro amor.
Do not respond is you don't answer me.
Yeah.
You don't answer me. Tu non rispondi.
So more
No.
focus on the non.
I think sort of, yeah, tu non rispondi.
Mm.
Okay? And then you really cut up with a barbaro.
Yeah.
Okay? I think that would be a good thing to do. Now, we've got to just work out a little bit of technique for you. When you go to the Fs, you tend to sing them, like a lot of tenors do, a bit open.
Yeah.
So you're ah, ah, rather ah. So you've got to turn them slightly. Otherwise, when you sing the F like that and then you sing the F sharp, you tighten up. Ah, come over the top of it a bit. Now that's much better. It was much less throaty than before.
Mm.
Ah, ah. That's it. Drop the jaw, let the tongue fall forward, and draw in some breath through your nose, perhaps. And feel where that goes, where the cold spot is in the back of your hair.
Mm.
Ah, ah. Still think you're looking up the stairs. You're going ah, rather than ah. Look down the hill rather than up the stairs.
Mm.
That way.
Ah.
And use your finger. You don't go with your finger.
Mm.
Use your finger as a direction for your voice, like that. Go. That's lovely. Try the F sharp now. Try a bit sharp. Play the F sharp again. Just put a chord underneath it. No, because we're going to into. That's the chord we need. That's good, a little sharp. Now keep that part of you a little bit stiller. Don't go Think slightly proud of the breastbone here. Okay? That's a good sound. That's a safe sound.
Mm.
How high do you go? What's your normal range?
Oh, I think it's about a B, I guess.
A B at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Let's just try a little bit higher then. Try that. Just make sure it's turned. So it's not anything like that. Try this. Just make sure that you're not getting any tension there as you go to the top note. So watch me do it. So a release underneath there as you get towards the third note. It'll just help the sound not to strangle. That's it. When you do E's, you tend to get a bit tight there.
Yeah.
Could you try an or sound? Or. Not too bad. Start off with your mouth open a bit. That's it. Make an or shape. And now breathe in some space behind that or shape. Can you feel that space at the back?
Yeah.
Now if you post your sound through that space. It's absolutely safe as houses. Ever so easy. That's it. It's just that slight tendency for you to want to go rather than That's better. So you're not going to hit that. It's so easy. You can just, you don't want to hit it. You want to just cut straight to where it is. oh, so you can float into it rather than having to give it a kick. Oh, not at all bad. That's a lot better. Can you feel a difference?
Yeah.
So that's where the work is, and that's where the work isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, so open up, make the shape, breathe in the space at the back, and sing. That's it. A bit higher. Good. If I were you, I would do a bit of work on this upper middle bit.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a bit of tension in those notes, which if you went any higher, would just get more tense. So you'd be able to squeeze those notes out. How old are you?
19.
The danger you see with young tenors is that they can get these notes out by the wrong means. They can decide they want to sing the high notes, and you just force the issue rather than discover how best to do it. And it's all to do with the passaggio, which all singers have to cope with. But it's those passaggio notes which are the key to getting those notes. Now if you get tight on those notes, the only thing you can do to get those notes is to squeeze. So you must be sure that you can get through that gate. You can do lots of different exercises just to turn it around that.
Yeah.
Perhaps you have done lots of exercises.
Yeah, sometimes.
Let's try that. That was extremely well managed one. He just turned it just for the right time, not too much. If you do it too much, it gets all covered and blocked up. So that's no use either. And it happens at the cover point happens at the back of the mouth, not the front of the mouth. You hear a lot of singing teachers say that you should modify your vowels, and particularly bass singers tend to go and they change the vowel hugely to go to the top note. And that's not, in my book, not right, because it's too obvious and too crude. And it's not right because you're changing the front. The thing about changing the vowel is that it gets changed because you change the shape at the back. It's the shape at the back you want to change. Not If you do that, it sort of gets. You hear how what's happening there. It's a very common thing, and the chap who was singing the Donizetti earlier, that's really an essential bit of tenor training, is that turn of the voice there. It's true for all voices, not just tenors, but it's very obvious with tenors if they don't get that right, and particularly if they then go on to try and sing the tenor top notes. And you'll have some great top notes, but you just need to make sure that is really good. Fine. That's sort of E flat, E, F, F sharp. Young tenors probably need to be thinking about turning E flats, and as you get older and better, you can start to just do it around the F sharp business. Some tenors just don't seem to worry about it. I mean, I'm sure that Fritz Wunderlich must have spent hours getting it perfect, but he just does it perfectly. But he doesn't. You can't hear him doing it really. It just happens. It's brilliant. Other tenors, you can really hear their trade. You can hear what they're doing. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And they're the people to learn from, I think, a little bit. Thank you. I've enjoyed my day very much, and thank you for listening and being patient. And it is an extraordinary thing doing these sort of big classes. And I'm sure you probably have all done this sort of thing yourself in your own places. It is like trying to pull rabbits out of hats, in that you have to try to assess what somebody needs at that particular moment, in that particular piece, in that particular set of circumstances. It's a very inexact science, singing teaching, and what works for one person doesn't work for another person. And I always try and tell my people sort of two main things. One is, don't expect me to tell you what it's supposed to feel like. That's for you to tell me. So in other words, I will listen, I will tell you whether I think it's right, and then you tell me what it feels like. There's no point in me saying, oh, it should feel in your right ear, and the pupil says it feels in my left kneecap. For that pupil, it's left kneecap. Okay? And the other thing is that you have to find the labels for your own voice from within your own voice. You can't ever have the luxury of standing outside and listening. It would be much easier if you could. But you can use tape recorders, you can use video cameras to hear things, and they're very, very useful tools. So do use those, and mirrors, and tape recorders and mirrors and things. They're really essential. But no two people learn to sing the same. No two people. Everybody has a unique journey to take with their voice, which starts when they're born and finishes when they die. And it is an absolutely ongoing, changing thing, which you as teachers must be incredibly clever about working out strategies to help them do it. There's no point in saying, oh, I teach the so-and-so method, and trying to teach everyone the same, because you will never get it right, and it'll be really miserable for you, and it'll be miserable for your pupils. They should take away your license if you say that sort of thing. Every pupil you should listen to new and try and work out strategies for that new person. Don't teach to a formula. Try everything, and you'll find that some of the times it will work. Some of the times you'll have to say, I'm sorry, I've tried everything I can do. You'll have to go to Mrs. So-and-so down the road because I can't. And be honest with yourself and be honest with your pupils as well. But thank you for listening. Very nice to meet you all.